congrats on 800 wins in program history. I know that means a lot to you and the rest of the guys. Just talk about how it feels to get that accomplishment now.
It's nice. I mean, as Austin told me a couple weeks ago that was potentially to come around, I hadn't thought about it. I don't remember the 700 like talking about it, which is good. I don't really need to hear about it until it's close. Yeah, I mean, I think the biggest positive is that we were the first to reach it, which I think says a lot about our program when you look at all the major measurables. College Cups, our Final Fours, of course, championships, winning percentage. But every really important one, we're number one in 1973. So it's just another one to add to that, which is great.
You had a night like tonight where you're really good. You've had the Akron match. You obviously went toe-to-toe with Clemson. You've had nights where you've looked like one of the best teams in the country, but then you've had other games like, to your own admission, haven't been as good, especially on the road. What can you pinpoint on the inconsistency at times this year?
We've been better at home, and that's always been the case. I would say through the road. I wish I could figure that one out. We've talked about that. We've played well in segments in the road. It's not like every game. We had good segments against Butler. We had a good 20-30 minutes against Ohio State. We had a good second half against Michigan. Even the first half wasn't as bad as it kind of felt at the moment until I look back. And so in Rutgers, I thought we had as good or better that game. So the results are part of that magnification. So sometimes you got to get caught up where we do get caught up, and okay, is it the performance of the result that kind of sticks? And we could play better in one of those games that we tied, yes. So just keep at it, process. We'll drive everything, and we've done a good job of that as a group.
At halftime up 2-1, what's the message? Try and maintain that lead.
Continue to make it hard for Kuhn to, the ball that he hit is exactly kind of what we showed in film and what they like to do. Butts is very dynamic, hitting behind. It's much more north-south than below you last year. Kind of more to his feet. It was really dangerous there as well. And it was a good goal. I mean, Kuhn's a class passer, and Butts is he's a handful. So I thought we did a nice job on Kuhn, limiting his effectiveness and touches. I thought Butts didn't get a lot of dangerous looks, and Mangione, who I think is one of the better players in the league, had a really quiet night. I think that was the combination of our pressure up the field, our connectivity of our midfield and back line, and our back line stepping into our hole there, high seam we call it, to negate balls where he can kind of face them at you. But I have a lot of respect for Mangione. He's a very good player. I thought he had a quiet night.
You gave up the goal on just one shot in the first half. Pratt was kind of in a tough spot there where he came out. Would you have preferred that he had stayed in net and tried to save it, or how would you like a goalie to handle that situation where he's one-on-one with obviously Butts, who's one of the best?
We talked about Pratt being a little bit higher because we know they look to get behind, and it was just that good of a ball. The backspin, it was well done. So I think it's a hard one to kind of split hairs at that point, because if he's deeper, Butts gets it in a pretty good angle. Does Muni recover and give him a tough angle? Most likely, but he's still maybe 12 yards out. It's a hard one. You don't want to second guess, certainly, and we'll look at it a little bit closer, but I thought it wasn't any type of egregious mistake. I thought it was a well-executed play by them.
Kind of going back to the 800 win mark, Brett was talking about how a few alumni were in the locker room. There's a little celebration, I guess. Even though you're in this Big Ten title race right now, what do you think? The guys interacting with the alumni, seeing them, all that kind of does for morale at this point.
It's great. I mean, we always have. We had some that are farther away. We have some that are more local or indie or in the state. That there was some that came back tonight that were out of state, and they have young kids that actually were out in the field just now kicking around. That's fun. Really fun to see that. And these are guys that came after I played, and they're in that 40 age group with kids, and they're in a really good spot, and they love seeing how the program's still doing well. And it's nice that our players get to meet those guys and learn about them, and some of them are doing some really cool things in their profession, which is great for our guys to get to know them, network with them, and get a chance to meet them. So it was nice.
The first goal, Ryan had a few corners before the one that eventually got a goal from, kind of a bit shorter. What did you kind of see from the restarts in those first few moments of the match?
It was great. We knew that with the win that we had a couple restarts that one that could be dangerous. We kind of freeze shakes in that spot and look either to go kind of near post hard or back post, and almost look like a direct goal. I think it credited Joey. I'm not sure how. It doesn't matter, but the reality is that was the ball that we were looking for. And the wind was 80, so it just kind of teased. It's really hard defensively to solve that because it's almost own goal time if you're trying to recover. Great hit by Witt. So yeah, that was well executed. All the restarts, starting from the throw-in, the corner, of course, the throw-in was, everyone was in the right spots. Great flick. We've been working on that play. It's really given us another element this year. We haven't used the long throw a lot. I mean, Jamie Bulmer, way back, we had a really big throw with Jamie back in, 14, 15, 16 time. Since then, we've used it, but not maybe as successful as this particular team. So it's good. And then the PK was, Witt did a great job of reading. We had a little scout on, what the goalkeeper liked to do, and he was ready and executed.
You kind of mentioned this with Blow-You being gone, but last year part of their dangerous was they had Privet, they had Kuhn, they had Mangione, they had Butts, they had Blow-You all knocking goals in at record rates. This year it's just been Mangione and it's just been Butts. Privet and Kuhn really haven't done as much this year. Is not having Blow-You there make them easier to stop, or what's caused it to make their attack like not quite as spread out?
Yeah, I mean, Blow-You was a handful, as is Butts, Mangione. They had a good situation with that rotation, and maybe they're one player away. They didn't go. I thought Butts and Mangione also fatigued as the game went, and I didn't think they went to their bench, and I don't know the reasons for that, but it didn't give him a spell. So when Butts came in last year, before he was buzzing, the one you're really forgetting that I think really got a lot of Penn State's attack was Reedy. He was fantastic for them and got a lot of the unbalancing started, and then Mangione kind of found seams and found some pockets, as did the other attackers. So all those guys you mentioned had, one player could unbalance and bring those players in the game, and Reedy, I thought, did a good job for them, and obviously he was gone this year.
Kind of looking ahead to Wisconsin, what about tonight's defensive performance do you want to see kind of carry over to kind of break that road slump?
Yeah, I thought the defense played great. I mean, that's what's, difficult. I told the guys, like, hey, that's a good goal they scored, although we talked about that movement, that ball, it was pretty well defended. And sometimes you just have to go, like, good goal, okay, let's move on, not analyze and get paralyzed by or giving up the goal. And then the penalty, obviously, I didn't see it. I'm guessing it was the right call. I don't know. And so really outside of those moments, shots, danger, that was pretty limited. And now, if you would have told me that they had one or two really quality chances, I'd say sign me up for that game, take it. And although they get 2 goals, it's a little like frustrating. But I'm not frustrated with our team defending, and I always thought it was very good.
For Ryan, for the 4th goal, he kind of pushed onto his left foot to cross it in. He's a guy who obviously loves to push onto his right. To kind of have a left foot that's gone a bit better this year, how much more dynamic of a player does that make him?
Oh yeah, it's changed. I mean, defenses know. He's feeling it. He is in the zone, as you call it, right now. Confident. What you want a 5th-year senior. He scored the goals. He's feeling it. He's dangerous most every time he gets it. And now that he can go in and out, he's hard. He just has that little gift to just get you unbalanced. He attacks your front foot so well. And defenders at that point are, unless there's good cover, and that once that cover comes in, he's got a slip ball. And if obviously they over-rotate to the end line, and he's got the right foot, which is obviously been magical for us with him as well. So really are happy for Witt. He's had a tremendous growth, and that left foot's come through reps and reps and reps, as is with Herb's as well. I loved Herb's header tonight. That was one of my favorite goals of the year because he put his body on the line on that. It was a great goal.
About Wisconsin, Brett was in here talking about winning out. Do you think that's sort of like a mentality that's sort of stuck with more than just him? And do you think that players are using that to sort of rally towards in this final stretch?
I mean, I'm focused on Wisconsin. The players I love, when they got to take ownership of what they want. So we can talk about all we want, but the fact that's what you want. Obviously the math, I haven't looked at it. I'm sure it's all jumbled up around right now. I'm just focused on Wisconsin. We got to get points in every game and let the table play out. But when you mathematically have a chance, it's obviously really fun for the group. And we went into last year's last game with the chance to win it. And nothing would be sweeter than to come here last day of the game, on decision day, if you will, and have a chance at it. And think there's a mathematical pathway for that potentially. We'll see.
Anything else for Coach? All right.
All right, guys, thanks.